Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now the middle of January, and with the Mando Season 3 official trailer now out to the public, which by the way was very impressive. We got a couple looks at 4 Jedi, we got a little flashback to Order 66 there, as well as little moments, little breadcrumbs if you will, showing us Din Djarin with other Mandalorians. I mean, the trailer was just built beautifully. And what John and Dave have been talking about for the future ever since the Mando Season 3 trailer dropped, and how they have been hinting more and more about what to expect. The hype is just getting more and more built up between the fans and the creators. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the kind and great support. Now that brings us to, of course, the next big scenario. We have John and Dave setting up things for Mando Season 4 that they have been working on back to back along with Mando Season 3. They have not filmed it just yet, but they were writing the script while they were filming Mando Season 3. That just goes to show you that both John and Dave are workhorses. They know exactly what the fans want, they work around the clock, and they provide excellent material. Now, that brings us to exactly what Favreau had to say about the future of Star Wars and what fans can expect to see and how the fans may very well react once they unveil certain sequences in upcoming projects and what they really have planned. Now, we already know that Favreau and Filoni have been planning out this big twist and turn that's going to be implemented into The Mandalorian Season 4. He's also been very direct with the fans that if Mando 4 proves to be very successful, that they are going to do a Mando Season 5 and or 6. So let's go over to what Favreau had to say. Now, of course, with Favreau and Filoni teasing many things for the future of the franchise, they recently were able to talk more about the future of Star Wars and more to do with the expected fandom reaction to their upcoming revelations. Favreau recently took part in an interview talking about The Mandalorian Season 4. He went on to say the following: "With what we have going on for the script for Mando Season 4, I have no doubt in my mind, with all the reveals that we have lined up, that is going to truly rip the internet apart for the fans. It's going to be one of the biggest reveals that fans have met in this franchise, and we wanted to make sure that we wouldn't do this unless we got George's approval, and of course we did, which was very exciting. I can lay down one hint for the community that this has to do with not just Grogu, but some of the characters that you grew up with that are in the Skywalker saga that we believe is going to make you watch those movies in a very different way." Now, I want to just stop here for one moment before I get to the other stuff that he talks about. So basically what he's putting out there is that the big revelations coming our way for Mando Season 4 and beyond, it's not just about Grogu, but it's also about how Grogu's revelations are going to impact many of the other characters, like Anakin, for example, Luke, Mace Windu, Ahsoka, or other characters like Obi-Wan, who knows. It is going to involve a lot of characters within that Skywalker saga timeline. And it's a very interesting thing that Favreau puts forward, that he believes that it's going to have such a big reaction that the internet is really going to rip apart. So many fans are just going to be bombarding, comment sections and talking about this for the years to come. And that's basically what they want to do. They want to basically create another I Am Your Father moment and to even surpass that. And he actually talks about that in a second. Now, do I think that they have the creativity to outperform the I Am Your Father moment? Absolutely. But will it really be reacted to in such a monumental way that it would be bigger than that moment? I'm not quite sure. But the thing here is this, is that Favreau actually went on to talk about how even George Lucas gave him the approval for all these big revelations that are being cemented into Mando 4 and the Ahsoka Tano series and beyond, and how he believes that what they are doing for those two projects, it's really going to break the internet, it's going to rattle the franchise's community, and it's really going to just stick with fans for many years. And you know what? That's what they need. They need a big moment. They need a real special moment that's going to be pretty much, you know, a highlight in pop culture, not just in Star Wars. It has to be in pop culture to really kind of bring Favreau and Filoni to that big status, right? They're already doing great stuff. I'm not, you know, kind of undermining them, but they really need that high moment, that real moment that's going to be placed into pop culture history. So on to the next thing. He goes on to say, it's something that is going to really change the franchise forever, but in a very good way to us creators. We spent years on deciding whether or not we would go through with this revelation that we have up and coming from Mando 4 will also spill into other shows that we are working on that's going to be treated like a ripple effect. Myself and Dave made sure that we could do something that would surpass the I am your father moment in Star Wars, and Lucas agreed that what we created does just that. So basically, George Lucas himself, the creator and father of Star Wars, is saying to Favreau that what they did actually does surpass the I am your father moment, and that says a lot. Now, we kind of talked about this lightly just the other day, but what Favreau went on to say here additionally is that it's going to be a number of revelations that's going to spill from Mando 4 into other Star Wars shows out there. That's really going to provide the fans something fresh, something new, something that's really going to make them very excited. Now, we already know that Grogu's identity is going to be a big subject for the 4th season of The Mandalorian, and exactly where he comes from, who he really is, what he really is, and why the remnants of the Empire want him, stuff like that, will all be uncovered in Mando 4. Mando 3 is going to tease a lot of that, but it's not going to be the full story. It's not going to have the full revelation per se. And I think that when you look at guys like Favreau and Filoni, they really are on their A game. You know, they know how the fans work with Star Wars, they know how the audience works with Star Wars, and the way that they marketed Mando Season 3 so far has been superb. It's been excellent because they're not revealing too much, they're not giving too much away, they're controlling what they unveil in there to the point where you're like, well, is there any more to this? That's what you want. You don't want to really reveal too much, and I really do thank them for that. However, with Mando 4 getting ready to begin filming, by the way, they are aiming for a July and or August filming date range to really get this on the roll and to get this thing out by holiday of 2024. Unless they run into delays, it could very well be something similar to this, where it's going to be the beginning of the next year in 2025. So, that brings us to exactly why John and Dave are going through all of this. Basically, they do want to just create something fun for the fans. They are guys that are very passionate. They know that the fans want more, and that they want more legitimate Star Wars material to actually be satisfied with. So, I'm really intrigued to see what each and every one of you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.